Hi YouTube, it's Katie. Since Valentine's Day was yesterday, I thought it would be fun if I could count down my top 10 OTP pairings. For those of you who don't know what OTP means, it stands for One True Pairing. That means in any fandom, TV, or movie series, you believe that these two characters belong with each other and with no one else. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 10. Tommy and Kimberly from Power Rangers. Now I know I'm kind of dating myself a bit here, but I recently went to a convention and I got to meet Jason David Frank, who was Tommy in Power Rangers, for those of you who don't know. And it brought back all of the memories of when I was a kid and I used to watch Power Rangers all the time. And I always believed that Tommy and Kimberly were going to be together. It was obvious. The show was pushing them together. It was meant to be. And then they recast the show. They started over with new Power Rangers, and Kimberly moved away. As you can imagine, Tommy was pretty bummed about this. But then who's there to cheer him up? Kat, the new pink Power Ranger. Now, I actually don't have a problem with Kat. I do know that they do end up together. It is proven in one of the episodes. We see a future where Tommy is telling a young boy about the Power Rangers and Kat walks in. And I actually think it's pretty cute. She's a good friend and he cares for her and it's pretty cute. And I'm sure all of you are thinking, but wait a minute, Katie, you just said that OTPs are like the one pair. It can't be a love triangle. You only have one character to get together with the other character. Well, the way I see it is like this. I have a ship. It is a beautiful ship, and I love it. Then someone comes along and punches heart-shaped holes in my ship. They're lovely. I appreciate the work, and I like them a lot, but they still make my ship sink. That's kind of how I am with OTPs. I always want these two characters to be together no matter what. But it doesn't mean I'm not happy for them when they find somebody who I actually appreciate and like. So, yeah, I do like Kat and Tommy, but it was always supposed to be Kimberly and Tommy, and I was pretty bummed when that didn't happen. Number 9. Ichabod Crane and Abbie Mills from Sleepy Hollow. At first I didn't want to get into this show, because it is scary and violent, and I don't like horror films or anything like that. But my friends kept telling me that you have to see it because of Abbie and Ichabod. They are so cute together, and you need to watch it. And they were not kidding. It is one of the cutest pairings I have ever seen, ever. And that's saying something. He is from another time where chivalry is far from dead, and he's just so kind and sweet to her. She's showing him all of what modern technology and modern day life has to offer. And he's an adorable British puppy who doesn't understand any of this, but he's grateful, and eventually he does kind of get into the swing of things. One of my favorite scenes is when they're singing karaoke together, which is really cute. And just, they shared a lot of sweet, tiny moments together that just, in my opinion, add up to a great relationship. If he and Abbie don't end up together by the end of the series, I will be very upset. You have been warned. Number 8. Batman and Wonder Woman. This is a relatively new ship for me, but I had to include it because they are so cute together. He's always trying to stay cool and collected around her because he's Batman. He tries to give her reasons why they can't be together, and of course she's like, yeah, okay. I love in one of the first episodes where she's trying to stop this thing from crashing into these people, and she gets crushed by it. And he's trying to dig her out, and he's digging, and it's no use. She's gone, she didn't survive. Oh wait, there she is! She's okay! Huzzah! And then it's just this quiet moment where the two of them are standing next to each other, and she looks over and sees the mud on his gloves. And she knows that he was trying to save her, and he just kind of hides them under his cape like, I'm Batman. I'm tough. I wasn't feeling any emotion. And it's just the cutest thing ever. Another one of my favorite moments, one of my favorite episodes actually, is where she's put under a spell, and the only way that he can save her is by doing something that he would never do, that he's been trying to keep a secret for forever. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what could it be? Sing. That's right. Batman sings in this episode. Not Bruce Wayne. No, he keeps the cowl on and sings in a swanky bar restaurant in order to save Diana. And then later, she finds out about it. And she kind of just starts humming the song next to him, and I just think that is adorable. Now, a lot of people think that he should be with Catwoman. And Selena Kyle, she's not a bad character, and it makes sense that they should be together, because who else would he fall in love with but someone who's almost exactly like himself? But with them, it's just passion, and I just don't see a future in it. You know, she's keeping secrets from him, and he keeps secrets from her. I mean, how is that a good relationship? With Wonder Woman, she's just an all-around great person, and she brings out the kindness in him, too. I mean, it's so cute, and I need more of it. I hope that in the Justice League movies to come, we do get more of Batman and Wonder Woman, because it is just so cute. Number 7. The Doctor and River Song from Doctor Who. I want to start out this one by saying I did ship the Doctor and Rose. I know. It's like I have 2 OTPs, but with the Doctor, it's kind of hard to pick one. Rose was like the one person he cared for and the most in the entire world, in the entire universe, and he would do anything to keep her safe. She made him happy, and he cared for her so much, but it could never be because he was a Time Lord and she was a human. It wouldn't work. And I love how they resolved it. That last episode with his clone and with her and everything, and the two of them just on the beach, it was just, it was wonderful and beautiful. And I thought nothing could ever top that. But I think the Doctor and River was always meant to be. She's the one person in the entire universe who could actually stay with him forever and ever. And why Stephen Moffat just decided to end it, I have no idea. They were just meant for each other. I mean, she literally was created for him. Technically, she was created to destroy him, but who else would she fall in love with, as she would say? Just every moment with them is literally like they're an old married couple. Why? Because she's his wife. And I love how they have such beautiful, wonderful moments, and a lot of them are really sad because we know what happens to her. We know from the moment we met her that she dies. He goes through the rest of their time together knowing that. And it's got to be heartbreaking, but he still loves her and wants to be with her and share these moments. She makes him happy. I do like how they ended it recently with the 12th Doctor, with Peter Capaldi. It was almost exactly how I had pictured it. What a great way to end such a loving relationship. Number 6. Clint and Natasha, aka Hawkeye and Black Widow. I will go down with this ship. They were supposed to be together. I understand that he has a family now and he has kids and they're beautiful and it's just wonderful, but he totally blindsided me. And then a lot of people are saying, well, it wouldn't work because she's a spy and he's a spy and they shouldn't get together because it would just be chaos and it wouldn't work. They also say that she's supposed to end up with Bucky. Apparently in the comics, that's who she ends up with. You don't even know Bucky! Like, I get that you both kind of went through the same thing and it kind of makes sense, but no. Clint understands you more than anybody else in the whole wide world. And you understand him. You just have this connection. You're best friends. You fit like a hand in a glove. And then all of a sudden, they decide, nope, we're not going to let this happen. I'll never let it go. Number 5. Roy Mustang and Risa Hawkeye from Fullmetal Alchemist. Roy Mustang is a colonel in the military, and Risa is his lieutenant. She's kind of like his bodyguard / secretary / right-hand man / confidant, and he's this cocky doofus who's always, flirting with the women and everything, but deep down, it was always Risa, and it was always going to be her. And neither one of them can imagine life without the other. In this battle against evil and corruption in their own government, they will stay strong and true to each other. But my all-time favorite moment is when he's fighting Envy. He finally finds the person who killed his best friend, and he is gone. He's just consumed by his rage. Envy is holding her hostage and almost about to kill her as well, and he just loses it. He completely destroys Envy and is about to destroy him for good, and she stops him because she doesn't want him to lose himself in the process. And then later they're trying to get him to perform the transmutation, and he's about to lose her for good. She's lying there, she's dying, she's bleeding and he's just distraught, and then she's about to die and he's holding her in his arms and he's like, "You lieutenant, don't leave me!" And then they save her and he's holding her close like, "I almost lost you, oh my god," and it's just so emotional and just, ah! And I love how you could just see their love as he's holding her in his arms. It's just, oh, it's one of the best moments ever. Number 4. Artemis and Kid Flash from Young Justice. They start off not liking each other. They're like that pair of characters that hates each other's guts. And then it's obvious that they're meant to end up together because they secretly love each other underneath all that hate. Normally I don't like those relationships, but here it makes sense. They kind of make it flow naturally. It's not all of a sudden they care about each other. They've had moments where even though they were fighting and didn't like each other, they would console each other and be honest with each other and talk. There's one moment in the series where she's feeling upset and he can tell, and he tries to comfort her. One of the things I love about Wally is how kind and sweet and funny he is. And she doesn't like him. She thinks he's careless and just a goofball, but she can tell that he's a kind and sweet person, and she kind of starts to fall for him. And I just love the moments they have together. They're just little things. And by the end of season 1, they're together, and it's wonderful. And then we move on to season 2, and apparently they're living together. That was a surprise for me. And then they had to end it. They killed him. He sacrificed himself to save the entire world. And Artemis is distraught and crying, and then she goes to tell his parents, and it's just this whole big horrible mess. Why would you do that? They were happy. They were so happy. They were going to get married and have little speed babies that shoot arrows, and it was just going to be wonderful. I mean, it's just so horrible. He was the nicest character ever. He was the best, and you killed him. Still, it is one of the greatest OTPs ever. Number 3, Sharon and Sakura from Cardcaptors and Tsubasa Chronicles. The thing about them is that from the beginning of Cardcaptors, when they were young and adorable little children, they would fight like kids do. You know, like, you took my card and I'm supposed to be the chosen one. But in the end, they still cared for one another and they were still friends. As the series continued, she would get into stickier situations and she would need Sharon. And he would save her and risk his life for her, and they just cared for each other so much that by the end of the series, when he's about to leave, she realizes that he's the one she cares for the most. And he realizes the same thing, and it's just adorable because they're young, they're kids. And then we have Tsubasa Chronicles, which takes the same characters and spins them and puts them in a different environment. So it's not the exact same Sharon and Sakura that we know, but they still love each other and care for each other very much. Basically, they're going on a journey where he has to recover all of her lost memories. They've been together forever, basically, and she doesn't remember who he is, and she never will. That's the price he had to pay, is that she'll never remember him. But on going on this journey, they build a relationship and fall in love with each other all over again. Now, the series does get really complicated, where that Sharon and Sakura were clones, and the original Sharon and Sakura are part of this other thing, but I think the best thing is that it cuts back to the original Sharon and Sakura from Cardcaptors. They get married and they have a baby, and he's the Sharon that goes on to have an adventure in Tsubasa Chronicles and then gets cloned himself. It's very confusing and it's this whole big thing, but I just loved finding that out, that our Sharon and Sakura from the original was the Sharon and Sakura who were the parents of the ones we've come to know in Tsubasa Chronicles. And I think that's the coolest thing. I love when they get married and they have kids, and it's oh my gosh. It's so adorable. Number 2, Haruhi and Tamaki from Ouran High School. These two were always going to be together. We knew from the beginning it was Tamaki and Haruhi. Even Kyoya knew. He turns to the camera and is like, yeah, this is love. This is what's going to happen. The thing I love most about this is that Haruhi is that one character that affects all of the members of the host club and understands them better than they know themselves. And she's so serious about studying, and all of these activities are really stupid and dumb, but because of the host club, she starts to enjoy life and see that there's more to it than working hard and studying. She can have fun and be herself around them, and Tamaki is the one that helps her see that. I mean, he's an idiot. He's a moron. But he's her moron. there's something she sees in him. You know, they share this connection, and little by little she realizes how much she really cares for him. I mean, he's such a sweet guy, and he brings out the best in her. He looks for the fun in everything and allows her to see the fun in everything too. And the number one OTP is Kyo and Toru from Fruits Basket. I love this series. All of the people who are paired together basically end up together. It is just the ultimate happy ending. Originally, I did put Toru and Yuki together, but now I cannot imagine her with anybody else other than Kyo. He was always that hot-headed, stubborn character from the beginning, but he had a reason to be, and she still cared about him. She was the light in his life. He'd always been surrounded by this horrible curse, and no one cared for him like she did. He realized he couldn't live without her, and she couldn't live without him. By the end, she's the one to break the curse, and I love how they're able to be together forever. I loved that line at the end, that they're always together, and that we see that they've grown old together and had kids, and just ultra happy ending. It's beautiful to see these characters, after such a long time, be able to be together forever and to be happy and enjoy life after all the hardship they've been through. It's just such a wonderful series, and it's definitely number one on my list. Well, thanks everyone for watching. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment below if you thought of any OTPs that I missed or that you would like to share with me. Feel free to post any artwork on Tumblr or my Facebook page. Just a heads up, my next video will be celebrating the 20 years of Pokemon, and it will air on the 27th of February at 5 o'clock. It's not a Monday, but I'm changing it up because that's the actual day of the anniversary, and I would much prefer to post on that day. Look for it, and I will see you later.